I'm going to be honest with you. I think the bull run has already started, but it for sure will start in 2024. And I'm not just telling you that the bull run has started or it's about to start. I'm also going to give you 6 reasons why I think so. So let's get into it. The first and most simple one is that if you just look at the chart, it's clearly been a bear run. Like, we've clearly been in a bear market. You look from the top of the Bitcoin price chart, you bring it down, it's like 77% from the top to the bottom. That's within the realms of what we would be looking at for a normal bear run anyway. It's also been like 3 years since the true peak of the Bitcoin cycle. So it's been 740 something days since the peak of the market. Typically, that's the duration of time it takes to start coming out of a bear market. When you look at the last bull run in 2017, December 2017, all the way down to the bottom, it was 364 days. Then COVID came around at 840 days. And from that COVID moment, the bull market had started. From that very moment, that whole bull market started. So we are now in the realm, just zoomed out. I'm not saying particulars, like this is exactly what's going to happen in the price, but we're basically on the tail end of a bear market. And usually at this time, we're making our way up. We've seen price action that supplements that and gives us the feeling, whether that's a fake out or not. It gives us the feeling that this has all started. I'm in the camp that we've seen the lowest of the bear market already, and we're on our way up. That is just simple, like, let's zoom out and look at the chart data. The second reason is that the SEC's hold on cryptocurrency is slowly weakening. They're having less of a hold on the cryptocurrency market in all of these different cases that are being brought. The SEC Ripple court case, the SEC cannot stop taking L's in this whole court case. They've been taking L's with Bitcoin related things and the establishment of ETFs and all this news surrounding it. The SEC is just taking major losses in all of this. And I see the SEC becoming less of a hurdle as time goes on. We've already seen Dubai basically say, we don't care at all what you think the classification of XRP is. We're going to let all of our companies use it in Dubai, let them use XRP for the way it's supposed to be used. More countries are going to follow suit. Once one country has jumped and taken the risk, others will jump too, and it's less of a risk for them to do so. Prepare to see that happen. Now, before we get into the third reason why I think a bull run has started, or at least it's going to start in 2024, I want to add a little note about security. I know lots of people are working from home, and sometimes when you're not working at home, you go to a coffee shop to work. And while you're at that coffee shop, you're a bit distracted and you go on the exchanges and you're like, oh, let's buy some more XRP or whatever. You're doing those things on public Wi-Fi. I want to warn against that with the sponsor of this video called NordVPN. NordVPN are an amazing service that they've been integrated into our videos for quite some time now. But specifically when you're trading on public Wi-Fi, in a coffee shop, in that kind of environment, and you're making trades with your crypto, there could be any amount of people around you using that public Wi-Fi to get access to your data and information. And your crypto and your digital assets are made vulnerable when you do those types of transactions on public Wi-Fi. Now, if you use their VPN, the information they get on their side is just complete gibberish. What's best of all is that they're going to give you 4 months for free when you buy a 2-year plan. If you go to nordvpn.com/Lulu, that's nordvpn.com/Lulu. You get 4 months for free when you buy a 2-year plan. The best thing of all is that it's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's absolutely no risk in getting started right now. So if you want to protect your information and protect yourself on public Wi-Fi, should you ever find yourself on public Wi-Fi, NordVPN is the place to go, nordvpn.com/Lulu. Now the third reason is, and this is going to cause controversy, is this Bitcoin halving, right? Where the rewards of mining Bitcoin for the miners halves, and then it makes things a whole load more difficult. It creates some supply shock. Well, actually, what if I told you that none of that was true? The actual reason why it looks like the halvening is causing a price pump for the rest of the market is because every time the halvening has happened, it's also been closely followed or close in time to the moment when the stock market reaches into new all-time highs. In fact, there's a way better argument to be made that bull runs only happen when the stock market reaches new all-time highs. I truly urge you to go and watch Blockchain Backer's argument on this. He lays it out so perfectly, fascinating to watch, incredibly smart guy. And once you finish that video, every time you hear someone talking about the halving or the halvening, you'll think, what an idiot. Why, like, you have no reason to say that except for just copying what other people say. If you know, you know. Well, anyway, if you look at the stock market as it stands right now, we're at that level where it's like, okay, are we going into a new all-time high, or are we kind of deflecting down for really the worst case scenario? And I guarantee you that as soon as, if the stock market does reach new all-time highs, the price will continue to go up. That will probably be about the same time as the Bitcoin halving. And everyone's going to say the Bitcoin halving calls the new bull run. Just know that that is just not the case. The fourth reason is just about the institutional adoption right now. We're seeing adoption actually roll out. I mentioned a little bit earlier about Dubai using XRP for business as a whole, basically giving XRP the all clear to do cross-border payments and payments within companies and from business to business. This is massive, right? And not only that, we're seeing CBDCs actually come into fruition. Basically every country in the world has a CBDC project happening right now. Adoption is actually coming. The duration of time from now and where the G20's guidelines for cross-border payments and CBDC usage, we've only got a couple of years for all of that to happen. I would like to think that we have utility rolling out with Dubai and whatever it is, HSBC, JP Morgan, all starting to use blockchain properly. Then the retail market comes in with this wave of the retail CBDC. Oh, look, we've got a central bank digital currency and we're getting paid $2,000 every single month for free. We're not paying for it. And here's my identity. Here's my sovereignty. You can have it. Just give me $2,000. When we start seeing that, that's the kind of environment where you see the peak of a full bull run, right? And so if we're looking at the next 2 years to have this big rise up, and then the downfall, the timelines all make sense, especially when you look at the narrative of all of the adoption that's happening right now in the lead up to that moment, at which that news does indicate a bull run coming, right? Adoption is coming. We can see that in these little news stories, but they're going to continue to increase with the FOMO and the hype of the rest of the market coming in, flooding in, buying these tokens, raising the price higher than they need to be, creating that bull run peak, and then we're off to the next bear run. But the fifth reason is super important. We're seeing crypto companies growing exponentially. I'm going to take Ripple as an example here. Not only have Ripple grown and have 80% of their business outside of the US, they're also hiring like mad people. I hope that actually they're not mad, but the growth of Ripple in terms of how much they're hiring, the office space that they're kind of trying to fill out and buy more office space to fill that with staff working for Ripple only shows me that this adoption curve we're right at the bottom of it. Why else would Ripple, a blockchain-based company, be hiring at such an alarming rate? And a sixth reason why crypto is on the verge of a bull run coming in 2024 is that outside of crypto, we're seeing developments. And bear with me here. I was playing Fortnite quite a lot in COVID, as many of you were. I got really good. I was trying to qualify for the World Cup. I was trying to get really, really good. So I was very in tune with Fortnite. If many of you don't know, it's just a game that came out that took everyone by storm. It's a brand new concept for a game. It was unlike any other game that we played. Well, just recently, all this time after COVID, Fortnite came out with one of their original maps that you can play the game on, the same map that was out when it was COVID, right? So everyone has this nostalgic feeling, and actually they launched that nostalgic map again for the public, and everyone went crazy. They even broke COVID records for the amount of users playing that game at that single time. So the desire for something like that to happen again is present in this moment. What you maybe have forgotten is that when Fortnite was exploding, the metaverse and blockchain gaming was also exploding. DeFi was exploding. That was the same metaverse wave that we saw then that we're seeing the rumblings of right now. And so what you need are these narratives that capture the retail investors, the people who are new to the market, where they go, oh, gaming, metaverse, let's buy stuff, and NFTs and all of that kind of stuff. That's the kind of narrative from a retail perspective, from like the at scale, at mass. That's how a bull run begins, when there's a craze. The craze happens, the bull run begins, and an alt season begins. That's what I feel like we're at the start of right now. There just needs to be that narrative that takes off, whether it's gaming or metaverse or VR, AR, or AI, probably more likely to be AI. We're at that time where it happens on the lead up to a full bull run. As it stands right now, I'm currently just waiting for that narrative to come out. I'm trying to look into altcoins and research altcoins that might be of interest or might ride that wave, or at least in some capacity. And I'm only using capital that I have allocated for that type of trade, right? So you'll know that my long-term holds are XRP and XDC, as well as my private equity assets that I hold as well in Ripple and Polysign. But I've also got this side little bit of cash. It's not much cash, but I'm using it to research altcoins and discover these new opportunities to ride that little wave and maybe benefit me in the short term. If you're interested in that journey, I'm also going to be documenting my research and explaining things that I understand in a simple way on a brand new YouTube channel. It's called The Altcoin Advantage by Lewis Jackson. You can subscribe to that channel using the link in the description. It might give you some insight into altcoins outside of the top 50 that might be of interest and might be part of this new wave. So I suggest if you have that little bit of interest in trading, then you can go over to that channel and watch those videos. The first video isn't out, by the way. I'm just kind of preparing and getting it ready for the first video to come out. But if you're subscribed now and you've got the notification bell on, then you'll be ready when it comes out. Now, I think you've just missed it, but today was the 4th edition of the newsletter, the weekly free newsletter that I send out, just summarizing all of the news that's happened in this cryptocurrency world, specifically with XRP and Ripple and CBDCs. I summarize all of the week's news into a 5-minute read, and it's super easy. The reviews of this newsletter have been incredible. The amount of emails I get of saying, this is great. I don't have to pay attention to all the news throughout the week. I can just read your thing for 5 minutes and I'm up to date. People are absolutely loving it. There's about 1,500 people registered for that newsletter right now who receive it every single week. If you want to join to be one of those people, you can use the link in the description to register, and you'll get the next edition next Thursday. Thank you all for your kind attention and watching these videos. Let me know your thoughts on what you think about the bull run having started, or do you think it's going to be in 2024, 2025? When do you think that bull run is happening? Please let me know in the comments. Stay emotionless, and I'll see you in the next one.